Have you ever felt a kind of spiritual energy come through you, not from you, especially when you were doing something creative? A time when you just felt in the flow? So you're seeing your favorite band live and they're playing your favorite song. You start dancing, but you're so caught up in the joy of the moment that your conscious mind takes the back seat and the movements just kind of flow through your body, almost like they were coming from somewhere else. So in this video, I'm going to let you in on a little secret that witches know to be true. In that moment, you are channeling the universal energy field that we call spirit or source through the movements of your body. So everyone has the ability to channel spirit or source into a physical manifestation like dance, writing, speaking, or virtually any creative outlet. And you're probably doing it already without even realizing it. Hi, welcome to What a Witch Knows. I'm Erin. I'm an intuitive channel, a writer, and a witch. And my intention with this channel is to share with you a witch's wisdom on some of the most popular topics in metaphysics and spirituality, like synchronicities, channeling, astrology, tarot, the quantum realm, and more. I'm a journalist by trade, so I combine the information I channel intuitively with old-fashioned research and reporting in order to explain concepts from my spiritual perspective as a witch. So today we're going to get into what a witch knows about channeling, and then I'm going to give you 7 tips about how you can start to practice channeling no matter who you are or what you do. So stay tuned for that to the end of the video. So first, just some background for you, that on this channel, I reject the fear that's been associated with the term witch by colonial and patriarchal structures. Although it's historically been an accusatory term associated with evil and Satan, modern witches know that this could not be further from reality. So instead, I talk about being a witch through the lens of love, freedom, healing, and the interconnectedness of all things. Not every witch will have the same perspective, and this information is purely from my own knowledge, experience, and guidance. So if the information I share here doesn't resonate with you, follow your intuition first and foremost. So witches believe in a universal energy field known as spirit or source that connects everyone and everything. We know that all life springs from this universal energy field, and we think it's conscious, intelligent, divine, and incredibly powerful. So we are in a constant conversation with this divine energy field, both giving and receiving wisdom in a kind of universal marketplace of consciousness. And channeling is one way that this divine energy field can communicate with you. So other methods are dreams, extrasensory perception like clairvoyance and clairaudience, and synchronicities. And for more information about synchronicities and how they're more than just coincidences, check out a link to my video below. So what is a channeler? So according to Merriam-Webster, a channeler is a person who conveys thoughts or energy from a source believed to be outside the person's body or conscious mind. So I partly agree with this definition, but from a witch's perspective, I would add that since your body and your conscious mind are also part of the universal source, it's more that you're tuning into a divine energy field that encompasses everything, including you. So channelers convey information from a wide variety of different energies and entities, including ascended masters, galactic spirit guides, past unloved ones, and ancestors. But I believe that no matter what the embodiment of the energy is, they're all different fractals of the divine source or spirit, just like we are. So the information that will come through during a channeling will vary widely. Oftentimes they're messages of hope, and they're also guidance and support as we navigate the turbulent times that we're living through. So channelers also convey messages from spirit in a variety of ways, whether it's through speaking on a YouTube channel or writing in a blog or a book, or using channeled information in their creative pursuits. So some channelers are known as trance channels, which means they enter a kind of dissociated mental state before allowing an intelligent entity or group of entities to use their body and voice to pass on the message. As these channelers turn into a vessel for the entity, you will sometimes notice a distinct change in their tone, mannerisms, movements, and sometimes even their accent. Other channelers remain in a fully conscious state but invite the entity to join them and can pass on the message from the entity in their own voice. Still others, sometimes artists or other creatives, tap into the universal divine energy field in a more general way, without the source presenting itself as a specific entity, to act as a kind of partner with them as they create their work. Sometimes they can be aware that they're channeling and actively invite spirit in, and other times they're not aware that they're channeling, but describe being kind of a flow state. So I'm the latter type of channeler, and I channel primarily through automatic writing. I think of the source I'm tapping into as a kind of lazy river at a water park. So I'm just kind of letting the information flow propel me forward with my writing as my conscious mind takes a back seat. My conscious mind is still very much there. I just ask it to step slightly aside to allow the information to pass through me and work with me. So writer Elizabeth Gilbert describes channeling in the context of creative living in her book, Big Magic. As a writer, she says so much of her practice is simply showing up every day and putting in the work. But sometimes she says her genius shows up for a visit, resulting in a feeling she describes as fairy dust. Sometimes when I am in the midst of writing, I feel like I am suddenly walking on one of those moving sidewalks that you find in a big airport terminal. I still have a long slog to my gait and my baggage is still heavy, but I can feel myself being gently propelled by some exterior force. Something is carrying me along, something powerful and generous, and that something is decidedly not me, Gilbert writes. Gilbert describes this genius as universal and alive. So rather than being her own to control, this genius is a conscious entity searching for a creative partner to help bring its vision into reality. When it visits, Gilbert writes, you can say yes or no to the partnership, but you can't control when it will come and go. When she feels the force moving beneath her words, she writes, I am delighted and I go along for the ride. In such instances, I write like I am not quite myself. I lose track of time and space and self. While it's happening, I thank the mystery for its help. And when it departs, I keep on working diligently anyhow, hoping that someday my genius will reappear. So for me, as a fellow writer, this resonates deeply. I've been a writer since I was a kid, but I didn't realize until recently that there are times when I'm not just writing, but channeling. So looking back, I now suspect that there were moments as early as 11 years old that I was channeling through my writing. So channeling can manifest in so many ways through speaking, dancing, singing, playing music, gardening, carpentry, painting, drawing, virtually any medium where you're creating something. And I'm willing to bet that if you look back on your life, you will be able to pinpoint times that you were channeling without realizing it. Now, while Gilbert is correct in saying that you can't control the universal source, nor should you try, you can invite it in to work with you. And if you make this a regular practice, channeling will become more and more easy and natural for you. If you're ready, let's get into some witch wisdom about how you can create a channeling practice in your own life. Here are 7 tips to get you started with channeling. 1, slow down. Oftentimes the pace of life is so fast that we're too distracted to notice when channeled information comes through. I didn't have the space to fully recognize that I was channeling until I consciously slowed down my life. So I left my hectic day job as a staff writer at a news network and I moved out of New York City into a much more tranquil location upstate, closer to nature. I started expanding my daily spiritual practices and finding lots more quiet and solitude. And that's when it all started coming through. So you don't have to quit your job or move out of the city, but I definitely recommend finding space for stillness in your life to the greatest extent that you can. So whether that's yoga, meditation, breath work, or something else, it is so important to find at least some time every day where you can put down your phone, be still, and tune in. 2, invite spirit in. So before I channel, I set the intention about what topic I want to channel on. I invite spirit in, and then I ask spirit to transmit the information through me in a way that will be for the highest good of all. So let spirit know that you're welcoming in channeled information and that you're willing to allow it to flow through you. Be sure to set a clear and strong intention that the information will be for everyone's highest good, including yours. You should also set the intention about what topics the information should address. So for instance, what we as humans need to know about the best kind of food to eat. If you'd like to communicate with a specific entity, such as your spirit guides, even if you have no idea who they might be, invite them in to communicate with you. For more information on this, I'd recommend the book, Opening to Channel. I'll drop a link to that in the description box below. 3, relax the urge to control. So sometimes the information that comes through will seem strange or out there, As long as you are steadfast in your intention that the information is for the highest good of all, don't try to control it too much. Just let the information flow through you the way it wants to. Letting go or grip on control as humans is especially difficult because we're so tethered to the rational mind. But it's important to remember that channeling doesn't come from the rational mind, it comes from spirit. So we have to be willing to calm that urge to control. As you practice, you will start to notice when your conscious mind is starting to jump in to interrupt, usually in an attempt to control the process. Gently ask it to take a back seat again. Once you're done channeling, you can always edit or organize the information. 4, ground and clear. So when I'm getting ready to channel, I visualize a bright white column of light extending down from above through my crown chakra at the top of my head and extending down through the other 6 chakras in my body until it grounds into the earth like a root system. As the light enters each of my chakras, I envision it strengthening each chakra and removing any residue energy or buildup that's not mine. So you can use any visualization or meditation that works for you. I recommend doing this at least once a day. I do it before bed. This might be TMI, but I do it after I floss because I think of grounding and clearing as kind of good energetic hygiene. And just like flossing gets rid of all of that buildup from the food that you've been consuming all day, grounding and clearing gets rid of all the excess energy you've picked up throughout the day from other people, social media, etc. This practice will help your energy system become a clear channel for energy to flow through. 5, say thank you. Once you've received the information, I think of it as a polite practice to say thank you to spirit. So acknowledging and showing gratitude for the channeled information is a way to communicate back with spirit, which will encourage more channeled information to flow your way. The more you talk to spirit, the more it will talk back. 6, record and reflect. Oftentimes when channeled information comes through you, you'll feel a little out of it or like you're someplace else. Sometimes it will seem like just a few minutes have passed, even though it's been hours. And sometimes you'll barely remember the information that comes through. That's why it's so important once you start feeling the information coming through to record it in some way, whether that's through writing, a video, an audio recording, or something else. Once you've recorded the information, then you can reflect on its significance. 7, read or listen to other channeled information. There are so many amazing channelers out here on YouTube and in the general spiritual community. So much of the information they have provided I found to be useful and uplifting. A few of my favorite channelers are Janet Trey-Lar, who channels the Ascended Master Zach, and Lee Harris, who channels his guides to disease. So I will drop links to their websites in the description box below. And I would also recommend the Next Level Soul podcast, where Alex Ferrari interviews a huge variety of spiritually conscious guests, including lots of channelers. Listening to other channeled information is a way to get comfortable with relying on spirit as another reliable source of information for you as you navigate through life, which you can then combine with other traditional sources of information. Remember, not every channeler will resonate with you, so be sure that you're only relying on the information that feels right or hits you in your gut. By the way, Lee Harris, who is fantastic, has a course offering right now called How to Channel and Why. I'm not partnering with Lee or anything, I'm not making any money. I just wanted to mention it because I think it could be very useful for anyone in learning how to channel. And Lee and the Z's have been a consistent source of uplifting and helpful information for me. So I will drop a link to that in the description box below in case that's helpful for you on your channeling journey. So thank you so much for joining me, and I'll look forward to seeing you again soon as we delve into more witchy topics. Take care and blessed be.